Well, hello, and welcome to the most generic podcast on the internet. My name is Josh Hawks. I am the 303 Ninja. I just totally screwed up the intro again, but whatever. Right over there, he's my podcasting partner for life. He is the other guy, Mr. Francis Fernandez.
It's so generic.
It's so generic, Francis, that I forget what I was supposed to say in the correct order.
That's all. There's no correct way. It's just, there's no script. You just go by the seat of our pants.
You're not supposed to let everybody know that there's no script. We weren't going to say that until we got to page 3.
That's... Sorry, missed that. I see it right here. Right, see it, okay. How's it going, man?
It's going. It has been a week, to say the least.
Hey, look, 2 episodes in a row. Hello, Ginger. Hi,
2 episodes in a row. What?
2 episodes in a row.
Oh.
On a Tuesday. We don't have to wait for a Friday or anything.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I guess since we were last here, I mentioned something about having to go to court for my jobby job.
You know what's funny? I was going to ask off air, so I'm glad you're bringing it up now. What happened? Did you go?
I did not go. I didn't, and it's not because I chose not to, because I don't like the court system. No, I was informed by the court system a day or two before I was supposed to go that the person who fought for a jury trial, well, let's back up, fought to find a lawyer, I guess, found a lawyer, convinced the lawyer he had a case that was worth, investing time into, requested a jury case, and then decided not to show up for their pre-trial thing, pre-com, I don't know.
Sure.
So they were like, you don't need to come to court. And I was like, oh, so he has a bench warrant out now? Yes, he does. I'm like, oh, interesting.
Look at that.
Man, so I can say things, but it's not worth it. But
yeah.
But the important thing is that I don't have to go to court. I don't have to put on nice clothes. I don't have to tell them that I won't swear to God.
Do you have to put on nice clothes?
You go to court, you're supposed to wear nice clothes. You're a representative of the company.
All right. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I don't have to.
You don't have to put your hand on a Bible.
I wouldn't do that anyway.
Burn.
The gasps. Oh my God. You got anything else I can swear on? You got a bushel of broccoli or something? You got Joe Pesci's head?
Oh, good. At least it got taken care of. Son,
yeah.
It got taken care of.
Yeah.
And move on with life.
Exactly. And I can hopefully not go to court for other people that I have to deal with.
Oh, well, okay. That's
well so far. Yeah, it's a small little update. Otherwise it's been a week. Nothing too crazy, I don't think. I was kind of hoping we can talk about how SpaceX caught their booster with their chopstick thing, launch pad thing, but that...
Okay, here's the question.
Maybe we'll talk about that next week.
I was going to say, how many times do they have to do it before it becomes no longer news? Like when it becomes normal, like backing into a parking space. It's like, okay, they got the rocket again.
Whoa, when people could fucking figure out how to back into places and back into a parking spot and be in lines and not bash into other cars. I mean, people can't do that, and they got sensors. People got sensors on their car, and they still crash into shit.
They do.
So,
I mean, are the ones with the 360 camera. Those are the best when they have the 360 camera on your car and they still manage to be able to park because you.
That is true, and
exactly what's around.
I mean, I talk shit, but I'm also very guilty of it. Last
Oh, you have a 360 camera?
No, but I was able to drive an Audi A6.
Oh, look at you.
Sure. It was a 4-door. I don't know, A4 or A6. And I was pulling into a really tight spot. And when I got out of the car and looked, I was like, ooh, that was pretty ugly. Let me get back in. And even with the 360 camera, I managed to only move over about 1.5 inches.
Look, we're just bad drivers, dude. You know,
It wasn't my car. You know,
bad drivers. What do you want?
It's not my car. I'm not used to it.
Exactly. There you go.
It was really nice though.
Exactly.
Holy shit. Audi's not really my thing. If they ever wanted to like give me a car to like, drive around and critique and, make some cheesy video about, I'd do it. But
You're like, no Audis for me. I'll take the Mercedes, maybe the Benz, but
right.
keep the Audis.
Hit me up when Rolls Royce has a test car,
Dude, I would drive a. Oh, totally. Especially, yeah, I would love to drive a Rolls Royce.
Maybe that's the direction that the show needs to take, Francis, is that we need to be everyman type of people and go and test drive cars and make videos.
So we're going to be the next Top Gear or.
If we only had
Years of
another
interest.
person that was just as comedically funny as we were, and we were all in the same
Well,
area.
who are you amongst the three? Who are you amongst the three? Who would you? Of the three of them, who would you be?
No, I don't know.
You're Brian May, aren't you? You're Brian May.
I mean, there's a little bit of all three of them that I think everybody could really find a little bit of themselves in, but probably
Jeremy Clarkson is he's
pretty
an
brash.
acquired taste for a lot of people.
It's pretty brash.
He is.
I don't know. I'm pretty brash in my job, but not in my everyday.
Right.
That's character I play, though. It's like coming on here.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the part you play. That's
Right.
not you. That's your role.
Right.
Good cop, bad cop. Here's your role.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, they made the American version. They made a few different versions of Top Gear
You're
America.
Matt LeBlanc.
I don't think. Sorry, Matt, but I don't know if anybody really aspires to be Matt LeBlanc.
I don't know why he was on there anyway. Like
He's a car guy.
choice.
He's a gearhead.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Why wasn't Jay Leno on there? I think Jay Leno's gonna be on there. He's a car guy. He owns all the cars, at least.
He probably let Top Gear use a lot of his cars. They don't let him on there because he can't do anything without falling down, setting himself on fire, or falling down anymore.
Yeah, cameras nowadays can't. They won't be able to get all of his chin in a single frame. So
And
it would
he's-
have been too much.
And
for
he's
the-
just like this now.
Well,
And
wobbly, you know.
they need to change the springs in his neck.
He's a bobblehead. What do you want from him? He's a bobblehead.
You ever see the ill what's the word? Ill maintenanced, It's a Small World robot. It doesn't really. It's not in time with the rest of them.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
That's Jay Leno.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, look, he was funny for a certain crowd, and I was not in that crowd ever. I'm not
Same.
sure he's ever said anything funny to me.
Though I've never seen his stand-up though, so I'm curious if his stand-up was good.
My best friend
I've
saw
never
his
seen
stand-up
but
and
only seen his.
said it was boring as hell.
Late night stuff. Oh, that's too bad.
Is it?
He's a comedian. I mean, he's a
Is he?
well-known. He's known as a comedian first before he was a talk show host. So
I mean, a one-liner
he's a comedian.
comedian.
Yeah.
in my eyes. I mean, like,
I guess.
I don't know. I like I said, he's funny to a certain group of people, just like Seinfeld is. Neither one of them are funny to me.
Yeah, I don't like Seinfeld's comedy. I just like his show. His show is funny. I think his show is funny, but his comedy leaves much to be desired.
I mean, is that not his show? Is his comedy?
No, but it's sort of. It's his jokes if they can't come to life. So it's not him just telling. He's a bad storyteller, but he's a good making other people act out the story that, instead of telling it, he just shows you the story, and it's like, okay, that's funny.
I like the other version. It's called of Seinfeld. It's called the Goldbergs.
Oh, really? I
don't know if we're going to use that analogy. If we're going to use that analogy, then yeah, I think Goldberg's funnier.
I haven't seen a sitcom in years, so I don't know. I don't watch enough TV to know. I'm not the core audience for sitcoms, and
I'm not either. But sometimes at the old dispensary, you'd run out of things to watch, and you're like, well, there's about to be 8 hours of the Goldbergs on, and they're starting at episode 1. Anybody anybody seen this? Nope. All right. Well, then we're watching that today.
Fun. Super fun.
I mean, why not? That's how I got onto Workaholics back in the day. It was on
There you go.
It was a all day, marathon
like
at the on the Comedy Central, and that show's hilarious.
That 70s show, that one.
That too.
That 70s show was like the show that just refused to stop being in syndication.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh yeah, we're just gonna show all of them.
I mean, that's part of core Nick at Night now, I think.
It's a real. That's too bad.
I don't know. I haven't seen the.
Go back to showing 80s shows like Alf and.
On
Mork and Mindy.
That'd be cool, actually. On Amazon Prime, if you have like the TV part of it.
Sure.
They have a live channels, quote unquote live channels, and one of them is a 24/7 Alf channel. It plays the series.
Well,
it plays Alf Tales. And a third thing I can't recall right now. And then I think the follow-up TV movie is also on Prime. Project Alf, starring Martin Sheen.
So, can I just say I was
you can say whatever
surprised that I'm weirdly surprised that even though it only made it to the first 3 months of 1990. It's technically a 90s show. Because it made it into those first 3 months of 1990. But I can't, if you watch it, you watch anything from it. If you don't put the family in there, it's like, any era. But when you put the family in there, it's like, this is early 80s, late 70s. There's no way. This is
I mean, it's just the way, it's just how it looked at the time. I mean, that whole set, had, a false floor and grooves cut out for the puppeteer to walk around, and people would fall into the grooves, and it was apparently a pain in the ass to film.
Yeah, imagine having to do Alf for 50 plus years.
Well, the creator, which I usually could pull right off the top of my head, I can't think of his name. Paul something.
Paul Fusco?
Fusco, yeah, Paul Fusco. Fusco. Something like that. He's been trying to get Alf back on TV for the last 30, 40 years, 35 years, whatever. Yeah. There was... Go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
When Fubo TV first launched, what's his face? Ryan Reynolds had a channel on the Fubo cable network, and Paul Fusco, with a new Alf doll, did all new commercials basically for this Ryan Reynolds owned channel, and the commercials were like for fucking hymns and cat litter or something. I don't know, but instead of showing like instead of showing the commercial for fucking Downy, Alf was slanging it.
Okay.
Like an old 50s style commercial, like in the middle of fucking like I Love Lucy or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of.
Sorry.
I'm just trying to think of like some old timey thing where like fucking what's his name? Desi Arnaz and Fred were talking about Winston cigarettes or something like that. In character.
Yeah.
So there's Alf and his roommate, a human roommate that he was busting jokes on and slanging dick pills.
Need to do it. They just need to just give in and bring it back.
I think it'd be awesome.
Feel like there's enough interest. I think there's enough interest, right? That people would appreciate, especially since Muppets. It's a puppet, not a Muppet.
Yeah.
Or is it a Muppet? Is it a Muppet?
Well, so when Alf was first running, I think Jim Henson had interest. Or gave Paul pointers or something. But I remember reading something where Jim Henson had like some interest.
Could you imagine if he got his way and Alf was part of the Sesame Street lineup? Not lineup, but like one of the Muppets that shows up on places like Sesame Street. Like, that'd be amazing.
That would. If we got to continue seeing Sesame Street.
Yeah, I guess.
So, I mean, this is kind of fueling the rumor mill, I suppose. But as it stands today, HBO Max, Max, whatever the fuck, they have not renewed for a season 55 of Sesame Street.
Yeah.
And I mean, if they don't renew it, then the contract with HBO Max, whatever the fuck the company is, it's set to expire, I think, this year. So if they don't get picked up, that could be the end. There would be no season 55.
Up, right?
I would hope so.
Like another place can do it. Like Netflix could just pick it up and be like, now we show. Here's the thing. I never understood why Sesame Street was like exclusive to Max.
Why was it taken off of public access?
Yeah.
That was the whole point of it being on public access, is so it was accessible to everybody, regardless if you had a cable subscription or not. You could watch Sesame Street.
Yes. It's education, and they still have celebrities go. Like, there's a bunch of celebrities who are going to cameo or like guest on there.
Sure.
So, like, yeah, it's for the kids. Kids don't have Max. They don't know how to navigate Max. Unless you're there to navigate Max for them.
Mm-hmm.
Kids just know channel for Heroes. We have PBS Heroes channel 28 on the UHF dial. UHF dial. Channel 28.
Ours is 6.
Oh yeah, at least yours is a low number. Ours was like way past the channels. Like, oh, you want to watch this? You gotta go. You gotta search.
When you had the old dial television, you had to spin that motherfucker like 120 degrees to get to what channel did you say? 63?
28 was
I thought you said 63. Okay, 28's not that bad on the UHF dial, but if it was like 63, that's like 2 twists.
Well, 56 was our local public public access TV stuff. So like all the weird like paint while you jog channels, stuff like that,
Yeah.
which is a real thing. It's a real thing. Somebody would paint and jog while making smoothies and answer phone calls on this TV show. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ours
It's a
public
real thing.
access is 12. I believe it's still 12.
What is with you guys and like having it easily accessible? Why are we in California just like 56, man? Just do it.
I mean, on one hand, it makes sense to put public access channels higher up on the dial because they have lower bandwidths,
Yeah.
and you save the higher
Well, it's-
bandwidths for the important shit. But I don't know. I don't know. We could go to a local fucking television channel and ask some public relations person.
If only they still existed. Thank you, YouTube, for taking over the public access.
Right.
channels.
Ain't that about a bitch? I never even thought about that, like in that
Yep.
facet. YouTube really is
Mhm.
public. What was not public? Yeah, public access.
Public access. Yeah, the public access shows is YouTube. So
Like
you don't need-
it's really hard to
don't-
make fun of the old public access, show of like people calling in asking stupid questions when I watched hours of people playing GTA 5 and pretending to be cops and robbers.
Well, I mean, it's popular to. I mean, when you're bored, what do? You turn on this game that everyone has, and it's sold millions of copies, so it makes sense.
Well, it's been out for 13 years.
And I have 3. This is not a joke. I have 3 copies of Grand Theft Auto. PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and my PC. I bought them. All 3 of them. So I bought that game 3 freaking times.
That's a lot of money.
So it's a lot of money. Well, like, yeah, sort of, yeah. I made sure I got it on sale, but still,
Sure.
I kept giving money to Rockstar. I'm like, here, take my money,
Have some more.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Not like I did
No
anything
backwards
with it, though.
compatibility.
Yeah. Like, come on. I should have just bought on PC. It would have been game over, done. But who has a gaming PC, like, other than you? I mean, I do too now. I didn't at the time, but I do now.
Sure.
But
I haven't even stepped into the world of GTA 5 in a long time, and before we get too far away, maybe Sesame Street should think about using GTA 5 to get their message out.
I'm genuinely hoping somewhere like Hulu or Netflix picks it up. I don't know why they wouldn't. Because Sesame Street is, and here's the other thing, they're owned by freaking Disney. Just put it on Disney Plus. Done. Put it on Disney Plus. Kids already have Disney Plus for all the Disney movies. You got your Sesame Street on there, and they're gonna make money from it because people are gonna want to keep Sesame Street.
And I mean, I guess it
on their
is
dial.
still on public access. It's just you don't get the brand new episodes. It's always you're getting
Yeah.
a month later or whatever.
But again, who has that though? Kids have iPads, and
That's true. I mean, but
Well, iPads.
I would say yes, the majority out there does, but there's still rural ass fucking places of America that barely have broadband or what is considered broadband.
yeah. Because when I was growing up, in my preschool had this giant TV in the playroom, and they would play Sesame Street on there.
Giant because it
when
was a CRT.
And by giant I mean it was like 24 inches.
Yeah, and a
It was a
CRT.
24-inch TV. Yeah, it was definitely CRT. Oh,
Yeah.
it was. You needed 7 people to pick up this 24-inch TV because it was just huge. All those tubes, but there, and burn-in, of course, is always.
Oh, the lovely
But,
burn-in.
yeah, I love burn-in. So there you go.
You know what?
know.
As an aside, I think when it's time to get a new TV, I want to take a picture of something and burn it into the screen. of the TV I currently have and then sell it on Marketplace. So when the
It
people
won't
turn
burn
on
in
their,
if you have an LCD TV. I don't know
well,
you have.
I don't know either. I'd have to look it
Oh,
up, but
the only TVs that can burn in nowadays are OLED and CRT TVs. So I should have one of those.
I don't. Okay,
No
damn
burn
it.
in.
That's too bad.
Yeah. Sorry, man. Sorry.
But I would. I'd take a nice detailed picture.
What would you burn? Yeah. What would you burn in? What would be the message that you burned in there?
Come on. You knew damn well what I would burn into a TV I was going to get rid of on Marketplace.
Oh no.
I'd be calling
Some
Alf
high
for one of
stalker.
those fucking dick pills and
Ooh. There you go. There you go.
no, so that's the kind of humor you get here. Because sometimes you need humor, Francis, because sometimes the world is shit.
Can be.
Sometimes the world, depending on where in the world you live in, could be shit. Qualified as shit could be very smoky. I'm not trying to make fun of anything. But those fires in LA, like, okay, when I think of LA, I don't think of grassy knolls or open land anywhere. I just think of city. I always forget that LA County is gigantic. It includes cliff sides and somewhat mountainous regions, foothills as we would call them here. And yeah, seeing the aftermath, I guess, hits a little harder just because every time I I was always at work during the days. So I tune in at night and just see the glow of the fire and planes and helicopters dropping water. See it in the daytime with the helicopter shots that I usually watch police chases with. Like, well, here's an update of this neighborhood. It looks like a moonscape. It's crazy. Just crazy.
So yes. And for those who are not in the know, I live in Southern California. I am actually technically surrounded by these fires. And I say technically because I live far enough away from them that it doesn't affect me because there's too many houses and buildings and stuff between me and them. Not to say that they didn't burn through houses and buildings,
Sure.
but they'd have to burn through miles and miles and miles of houses and buildings to get to me. But
Because of all that industry.
It is. Even though I do live near the mountains, so technically, I guess I could. A brush fire could potentially, but it's small.
Sure.
There's not enough to really do damage. So we have a resource called it's just this California fire map. There's 135 wildfires going on right now
Jesus.
in Southern California. I think it's also part of Northern California, but nothing's happening in Northern California. It's raining over there. But Southern California has 135 wildfires, 12,000 structures destroyed. So to give you an idea of how devastating this is, it's really, really bad. And people are kind of, like Josh and others, are very kind to check up on me, because they know I live out here.
Yeah, I mean, not really knowing the vast of LA County and the industrious area in which you live in compared to these areas. I don't know the distances. I just know that you're somewhat close to Disneyland-ish area, and that's all I need,
Yeah. I'm close enough to where, again, there's fires right now, 100 and some fires everywhere. Right now.
You've mentioned
There's
going to
tons.
Santa Monica Pier. This is all this stuff is, within reach of you. So, that
It's close enough to burn the pier. It's literally close enough to burn the pier. The Palisades fire, which is the biggest one, that took down, and yes, I know Pacific people are like Pacific Palisades. Okay, yeah, it is the rich area of
some heartless motherfuckers, though. There's some heartless motherfuckers out there that are like, oh, well, it's okay. They're fucking rich. Heartless. You're fucking heartless.
Yeah, It is because it's livelihoods
Yeah.
gone, like entire livelihoods. Their whole world up in like,
I mean,
not to be a pun, but up in smoke.
not okay, good. Um,
Yeah,
but like, not to mention,
just saying.
there could have been masterpieces of art that were lost. Lost to the world. That who knows?
Two of our big museums are in Pacific Palisades, Malibu. They're in the line of the fire.
The what's it called? The villa, something.
The Getty Villa and the just
The
the,
Getty,
the
the
Getty and
Getty,
Villa. Yeah,
yes, the Getty Villa and the Getty
those are
Building.
yes. So those are the two big museum art museums that have genuine old pieces of real art from real artists that you've heard of, like Picasso and like Van Gogh and all that stuff, like things that you cannot replace, things that you just cannot lose because they're one of a kind. You're never going to see them again, type of deal. I actually read an article yesterday that they're like, yeah, we got it covered. Don't worry. We have a little vault that we're gonna put the pieces in so they don't get caught up.
We got a safe.
If the place does get burned out. Yeah, like
We got a
it'll be taken
fireproof
care of.
safe.
Like,
It's fine.
They'll be fine. Yeah, but that's cool. I mean, it makes sense. Makes sense because it's not like we're not prone to fires, right?
Right.
But again, I don't know if you knew this, but a bunch of insurance companies, did you hear about this? Where a bunch of insurance companies like got rid of a bunch of their insurance coverage for a bunch of people in the affected areas like weeks before the fire started.
Oh shit.
Because they're like, man, we can't afford this. We can't afford to, unless you give us more money, we can't afford to do this. And like, well, I can't give you more money. It's like, well, then you don't have coverage. And like, and then this was weeks before, so they lost coverage. I don't know whatever happened to that, but they lost it before the fire started. So a lot of people are really, really, really devastated. So it's been tough. It's been tough just being a Californian and being like, well, I'm okay, because everyone,
Sure.
I went out this weekend and everyone's kind of just living life and doing their own thing. But it's like places I've been to, places I've visited are gone, completely wiped off the map, and I will never see them again. Because I'm sure they'll rebuild, but it's not going to be the same.
No.
And if they do rebuild, it's not going to be for years.
Right. That was something, the helicopter shot that they showed today as I banged my soda can. There's houses like right up onto the beach that burned to the ground. Like they're 300 feet from the beach or from the water, and it's just like, it's just crazy. And that's actually what the helicopter pilot was saying too, just like what you just said, that, yes, they can rebuild, but it's not going to be the same. You still are going to, there's shit that was lost there, completely and totally, utterly lost. You can't replace some things.
No. And again, it's there's a lot of landmarks there. I think the oldest building was 100+ years old, and it was a Starbucks, which is weird, but that burnt down. One of the first buildings to burn down. So it's like, it's actual. To us, historic buildings that are gone.
So because I'm not there and I'm not constantly looking and keeping track, was this just lightning strike? Was this cigarette? Was this an asshole?
It is. So I think the current common theory is just bad power lines and stuff like that. It was dry brush, power lines, and the windiest weather you can ever. We have windy Santa Anas for the last week and a half, like winds that would blow you away type of winds. Really,
50 mile an hour gusts is what I last saw.
Yeah. So it's just fueling and pushing the fire. But yeah, the conspiracy theory is there's a lot of conspiracies going around. Like it was, it's arson. It's the insurance companies who are doing it because, they again, it's really convenient. They got rid of coverage right before they started burning things down, blah, blah, blah.
Where's the
You know?
tinfoil? I don't have any tinfoil in here.
Yeah, you need some tinfoil for this. Some people think there's a Jewish laser from space that beamed down and burned and caused the fires. Yes, a Jewish space laser. This is a real theory.
I saw it was live too. They asked somebody,
Yeah.
what do you think caused the fires? And the guy said all the gay people in Hollywood. And they had to quickly cut away, and I just giggled and went, and that's what you get for not screening your people you're about to put on TV.
No, they wanted that. They're like, give us the wackiest reason why you think there's a fire.
Yeah.
Well,
That's true.
so, who knows, really?
Well, I mean, I would like to say regardless of the reason, but the reason could be a major thing.
It's arson, it's a big deal.
Yeah, if it's arson, it's a huge deal. If it's faulty power lines, I mean, there's somebody that could probably take the blame for it. I mean, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, the Forest Service here does burns, to cut back, controlled burns, to cut back on
controlled burns.
on brush and stuff like that. And I watching LA News, one of the chopper pilots was saying, like, this area hasn't been, after speaking to a firefighter, like, the area hadn't been a controlled burn in 50 years or something like that. Many years. So it's
been a dry season too.
Yeah.
It's been a dry season. It hasn't rained in in all of winter. It hasn't rained, so it's been a dry, windy. So it makes sense for fires to happen. But I guess one of the biggest ones is we have faulty, infrastructure. We have bad leadership. It's a lot of the blame is going to the mayor of Los Angeles and the governor. So, like, there's a lot of blame to go around, but really, who cares as long as people are safe? So, like,
at the end of the day,
I know a couple of people. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I know a couple of people who are, like, getting ready to evacuate. I know people who are unprepared. I have a couple of friends of mine who are on vacation right now, whose home is in the path of one of these fires.
Oh shit!
So hopefully they didn't read about it or hear about it, because
that might ruin the vacation pretty well.
Yeah. Ruin the vacation. I mean, I'm sure they heard about it.
I'm sure.
Like, it's in there. It's kind of near their home, and it's like, what do you do, right? Like, a lot of people are scared, and they don't know. Again, worst fire, worst natural disaster ever for Southern California, like, ever.
Yeah, there's a guy I watch on the YouTubes on the public access. That he's had
call it that from now on.
I think
YouTube public access.
Yeah, we could try to remember that. He's in San Bernardino, and the thumbnail for his latest video is just fire glow. And again, not knowing San Bernardino from fucking LA proper, it's like, holy shit, that's close to there too. Goddamn.
Well, that's a new one, yeah. So there's new fires, and so when I said I'm surrounded, I'm literally surrounded. I have ocean on one side, and then fire on 3 other directions. So that's the newest one.
So the Eaton one is the closest one to you, right?
Brush. Technically, I want to say, let's see, I'll take a look at the map. Technically, Palisades is the closest. Oh no, Eaton is the closest. Yeah.
Okay. Because when I kept looking at that damn map, I'm like, I think that he's closest to the Eaton one.
Eaton is closest. Yeah. Yes. Eaton is very, very close in the sense of, like, it's, when I say very close, it's 20 miles away. But, like,
that's close.
It's close enough. Yeah, that's close enough.
That's close.
Maybe more than that, but it's still like, it's a 45-minute drive from where I live without traffic. So it's, but again, it has to go through freeways and stuff, so I'm not too worried.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still big. It's still growing.
That's insane. It's crazy. Watching all the fire drops, the water drops. Always awesome to see. amazing pilots.
Yeah.
There, when I was, you know, sometimes you can't sleep, and so you watch the news from other cities. And late last night, there was a small brush fire that popped up, and you saw the crew walking around the fire, making a fire line, cutting a fire line into the brush, and backfiring it, like starting a fire on the clean edge, I guess, of the fire line to burn into the fire. So it's kind of cool to how it's all done. I had a friend of mine years ago that was part of a forest fighting team, and that's what he used to do, is dig fire lines and put out fires, you know, start little fires to control bigger fires. And
It's an art. Like, it's an art to controlling these you know, unpredictable things of nature. There's an art to having to control them. So I mean, yeah, I'm not surprised that there's like these really creative ways to like control fire.
And much like the storm chasers, you know, they see a tornado and they can be like, you know, based on their experience, they're like, oh, okay, well, we can park our car here and be safe because we have 3 different directions we can go besides the direction of the tornado, because we know it's not going to come. We're not going to go that way, and we know it's not going to, whatever. It's
or
interesting.
if you watch the movie Twisters, they just put pylons into the ground that keep the car in place, and then you can have the twister go over you and be super cool about
So
it.
we just fucking took a great movie with quotations and just jumped the fucking shark with it. Now we're
It's good still.
Now we're just shooting poles
Twisters
into the ground.
Well, so the premise of Twisters, and is that they have this thing that, like, this chemical that makes tornadoes go away. So that's why they have to be in the middle of it, because they have to shoot the tornado killing stuff into the air while the tornado's over them, and they get rid of the tornadoes.
So they got to bust their money shot into the, okay.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. It's stupid, but it's fun. It's a really fun movie. I think it's as fun as the original Twisters.
Does it have
But
cows?
anyway,
Does it have cows?
no, I was very disappointed there was not a cow.
Well, then I'm not going to watch it.
That's like
anyway.
the one thing that makes that's the one thing that makes Twister good is the cow.
Exactly. Now that's something that the area definitely doesn't need is a tornado. Luckily, California isn't known for tornadoes.
No.
And it's winter. So, I mean, if a tornado showed up in L.A. right now, I mean, you might as well look for the horseman as well.
Time to move. Yeah, time to move.
Yeah, you want to get on the fucking east side of the San Andreas Fault.
I was going to say we had an earthquake, I think, or something. Not southern, but like Northern California had an earthquake. So it's like, oh, we're just going to get it all, aren't we? Just toss all the things all at once. Fires and
well, that was the other thing. Now that all this fire has happened, now people are concerned with mudslides.
Yeah.
If any rain does show up, now the concern is we don't want too much now because
I don't know. Yeah, we're pretty dry this year. I don't know the likelihood. I mean, we were dry. We're not in a drought, but we're dry. So
yeah, it's just interesting. It's really interesting watching the news from different cities, or even our city covering the fires there, because they just kind of default to an affiliate report mostly. But
yeah, it's weird that it's weird the rest of the country is following it. Like we follow hurricanes in Florida or something like the really big storms that happen in the east. Like we follow it. People are following, the fires here, and of course, making AI images of the Hollywood sign burning. Which is hilarious to me. Like, we got to make it worse. We got to make it look really bad. The Hollywood sign is burning down.
I think it's bad enough when the LA sheriff has to come out and be like, stop looting.
Oh well. what are you gonna do? They leave their homes. So many people abandon their cars in the middle of the road. They just abandoned them.
I saw there was a
Run away from the fire.
bulldozer. There was a bulldozer
Pushing
bulldozing the
cars
cars out of the way.
Yeah.
That's some apocalyptic
that-
shit right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the houses that are abandoned, I mean, I don't condone it, but I kind of get it. It's like, all right, fine.
Hmm.
It's the wealthy neighborhood. Let's just go in. Let's get the stuff and get out.
Hmm.
It sucks, but
I mean,
it is.
I guess.
If only we had escorts for these houses.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of those being used for escort houses. You guys got squatter laws.
Rough, man.
You guys got squatter laws there, I think. So,
We've got too many weird laws.
well, yeah.
Shrug.
I
Shrug.
it's illegal to let someone borrow your vacuum cleaner here.
Well, I wouldn't want to borrow your dirty ass vacuum cleaner anyway.
It's illegal to
it's fine.
dance in Utah after 1 a.m.
So, somebody put baby in the corner in that respect.
All I know is that when I was in Utah and it was late at night, I was dancing around, just hoping.
It's at 1 o'clock, just like, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Just, doing any crackpot dance I could do to see if I can get a interaction. See if I could.
The Running Man. I hope you did the Running Man or the Cabbage Patch.
Well, when the cops showed up, I started running, man.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I got this. I got this. And then you started running.
Yeah. Like, oh shit, it's the cops for real. Well, actually, the cops needed to show up to something, and they didn't. While people were waiting in line, probably doing the Running Man instead of running, man. Another girl got ran through, as they're saying on the internet. We spoke a few weeks ago. I'm trying, Francis. I'm trying. We spoke a few weeks ago about a lady that broke some sort of or set a record for banging the most amount of guys in one day in a I believe 12-hour time frame.
Yes.
I believe the number was just over 1,000 unfortunate souls.
1,057. Yes.
The new one is 1,057.
No, sorry. You're right.
The original was 1,001.
The first one was like, I thought it was only 100. I didn't know it was 1,000.
I thought it was 1,000. 1,001. Look it up, producer guy.
All right.
While I make fun of this one. Yeah. So this one complete 1,057 in 12 hours. What is the internet doing to people? Go on.
So 100 men in one day.
Oh, it was 100 men in a
100 men
day?
in one day was
And
the
this
first
chick did 1,000 in 12 hours?
Yeah.
What's the math on that? 1,057 in 12 hours? I can't do that in my head. That's like
Hold on.
3 minutes a person. That's like 2.5 minutes a person.
Is it really?
I don't know.
I'll calculate.
Okay.
Keep talking.
I mean, I would hate to be the 101 person or 100th person or the 1,057th person. I'd hate to be the 157th person in this situation. That's not who signs like. I think I would have to wait in. I would have to wait in line with my delivery from Alf. and have to time it.
Josh.
Yes.
Josh, it's 2 people per minute for 12 hours.
Swiss says
1,057,
1.46 per minute. 1.46 min per minute.
Yeah. So not even like
Okay, so
person a minute. Less than a person per minute. Less than 2 people per minute.
So there would there would have to be like a series of fluffers.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: the ones near the end don't have to get ready until, like, you know, they have time. In other words, they don't have to be like.
I know, but at that, you're dude 1,000, and you're sitting there with your delivery from Alf. You got to time that shit.
Here's the thing.
So because you're going to get in there, you're going to be nervous. There's people looking. There's stuff all over the place. Like there's this gaping hole. Like,
yeah, it's like it's throwing a Q-tip in a tunnel.
You got to make sure you signed up for this. You stood in line with a fucking, partial boner for the last 2 hours. Like, you don't want to get in there and get nervous and not being able to have your 30 seconds.
I mean, Viagra exists, man.
That's what I'm saying. You have to time that shit, though.
Yeah.
You got to be sitting there, like, waiting in line. Like, I'm about to be in a major gangbang. I got to break out my calculator, do some math real quick.
I mean, okay, really. It's a world record, A. But why? Why?
That's what I'm saying.
Why?
What is the internet doing to people? One, as the dictator, why would you want to have 1,000 people put their shit into you in one day? And on the other side, why would you want to be in something that 999 people have already been in the same day?
Okay, so my theory is that she's making money, right? Obviously, she made money from this.
I would hope so. Enough money to reconstruct her fucking vagina.
They just have my audio playing in the background. I don't know what that means there, XO. But sure, good. Or do you mean you're listening to 1,000 men plow into a single
in the background? It's just nothing but grunts.
I mean, what can you get done? And seriously, though, what can you get done in 30 seconds?
I mean, there's a lot of people out there that say there's a lot of one-stroke chumps out there. One stroke jump. What is it? One pump chumps. That's it.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you fucking go to the One Pump Chump website and you fucking find 1,057 motherfuckers that are on that website. Listen to sexy.
She's only been at this. She's only been at this for a year and a half now. He used to have a real job, and then she's like, "Oh, I'll just do this other thing," and because she made $6,000 her first month on OnlyFans, she decided, I'll just keep doing this forever. So yes, that's her. I don't even know, man. Like, I don't even.
I don't get it myself. I don't care if somebody I'm seeing has already had 900 other people, relationships before me. At least they weren't all in the same day.
Yeah, okay. So XO is saying they don't need fluffers; they'll just listen to her voice in the background.
Well,
people may have heard her in episodes of POI After Dark when we used to do After Dark episodes. So so her sultry voice is what kept them going until they were ready for their moment in the spotlight as number 998 or 732.
It's just
whatever the number is.
Even fucking guy 15. Like,
according to this, her goal was 1,000 with 57 men waiting at the house who Bonnie wanted to pleasure before ending. So I guess she was just gonna have one in each hand, right? She's gonna do like multiples at a time. Not that I'll ever do. Yeah, that was weird with the hand thing.
even that. I mean, even yeah. I don't know. I don't get it myself.
And yeah, and for those wondering, it was all one-on-one, according to this. So
Just a girl in stirrups because her can't hold her legs up for that
essentially,
long.
essentially, I mean, she just laid there. You can't even. Yeah, you're right. I guess you're right. It's in stirrups, so she just laid there with stirrups. One, two.
Just
She has a
fuck.
little clicker thing for like when people, she has a little clicker thing in her hand. Just, one, okay, two. Okay.
Hey, you've already been here.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, but I reloaded, ready to go.
And the question is, where do you go after this? You did the one. You did the 1057.
Well, here's
Yeah.
where we have the commercial for Waffle House, Francis. No,
They're throwing chairs at the Waffle House.
this week's sponsor. That would be funny as shit. I don't know. You go to therapy, I think.
Liquid Death still needs to sponsor us because we keep drinking. You and I. Well, you have.
I went with Arizona just because it's $1, and I had to be frugal with my
Do you know how much it is
choices
in
of
California?
of soda or tea. What
$2.
dollar? No, well, I mean, it says 99 on it, so I mean,
Doesn't matter. They charge two. They charge two and change for them here.
that's price gouging.
Yeah,
The can says 99 cents.
it does. It does. We don't care.
Mm.
We're gonna charge you the extra buck.
I think there was, maybe a little bit of a, upsale, so they could make 20 cents or something like that. But
I guess. Ugh.
it was pretty close to that 99 cents. I remember that. I don't have the receipt,
Right.
but yeah, it I don't know how you transition out of that really, but I don't know why you would want to do that on either end. I don't know why you would want to get run through. I'm not a female, so what the fuck do I know? I know you're not going to see a fucking 1,057 chicks line up to fuck a dude.
I'm curious if.
I don't say it's even physically possible.
I'm curious if the guys got paid. That's the question.
They did. They got pussy for 30 seconds.
That's nothing.
For some, that was a lot, I bet.
Maybe.
They're proud.
got a-
I was
she got a
fucking, I was number 17.
Maybe she got 1,057 virgins, and then like, oh yeah, 30 seconds more than enough time to get it.
Right.
Of course, you're in a sea of semen afterwards, but whatever.
Again, 1,057th dude.
New definition of bukkake.
Broken rubbers are apparently a common thing. So I don't know.
Anyway.
So on a lighter side of things, we were talking about GTA 5 earlier. I thought I might wait to bring that up, but it just kind of slipped in. But going back to GTA 5 for a second, there's a lot of different mods out there. I play one where I get to be a cop. You can join servers and you can be a cop or a robber. They have prison roleplay servers where you can play as a prisoner. There's mods to bring in GTA 4 into GTA 5's map. There's maps to go to space. That wasn't even part of the fucking GTA 5. There's also people out there that make machinima or like type things. Some people out there might remember Red vs. Blue. Robot Chicken. In a sense. More action figures than machinima, but apparently Francis caught word of something happened in a local theater where people are redoing Hamlet in GTA 5.
So I was looking this weekend. I'm like, man, I want to watch a movie this weekend. I have a service. I pay for their freaking A-list, AMC A-list, which is like you pay an amount, you get to watch X number of movies a month for not for free, but like you get tickets or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I got to watch a movie this weekend. I'm paying into this service. I should watch a movie. So I'm looking through, and then there's this one that caught my eye, Grand Theft Hamlet. I'm like, this is stupid, but it had a 90-something% Rotten Tomatoes rating.
What?
So reviewers, yes, it has a 90. I'll give it to you now. It is, where's the Rotten Tomato? Here you go. Currently sitting at a 95%
Jesus.
Rotten Tomatoes rating.
Swiss says it's dope.
42 reviews of Grand Theft Hamlet.
Now I happen to know that Swiss is able to obtain things, that are currently in theater sometimes. So apparently he's aware of it, has seen it.
So good. I'm glad to, because I'm looking at it. I'm thinking of watching it this weekend because I think it's part documentary, part actual, recreation of Hamlet. And it was done by two dudes in the UK during the lockdowns of COVID, and they're like, we got nothing to do, let's go make this movie. And so they made this movie. And for people who aren't familiar with video games, like Josh was saying, there's channels on Twitch right now you can go to with like 6 or 7 people playing roles. They're playing characters, and they're role playing as those characters during their stream.
Mm-hmm.
Like one guy plays cop, one plays. I remember one where the main person was just his old grandma, like that was her role in the city of Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
So she would walk around, talk to people, like real people,
Mm-hmm.
and the cops, and they would set it up obviously because there's a lot of people in the world. Set it up, talk to people, and it's just the grandma, like in the life of this crazy world. And of course, she'd get guns and kill people and whatever because it's great Grand Theft Auto, whatever. It's
Sure.
fine. So the fact that Shakespeare, freaking Shakespeare, in this world is amazing to me. Like, I am so in with this concept because it's like, yeah, why not? People are already doing it as we speak.
I would much rather watch Hamlet in the GTA world than I did enjoy watching Romeo and Juliet with guns. Wait, was that right?
Skater
Was it
Girl
Romeo
says it was shown. Yeah, Romeo and Juliet had guns.
Okay.
Where they called their long swords. They would pull out a pistol and he's like, "Here's my long sword."
Yeah.
It's like,
DiCaprio, right?
Yeah. DiCaprio and Claire Danes.
I couldn't remember if it was that or if it was fucking, some other Shakespearean thing. But go on.
Good old Baz Luhrmann. Yeah, Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet. But yeah, no, Skater Girl says it was shown at the Denver Film Festival and everyone loved it. So I'm in.
Yeah, the Denver Film Festival is kind of a deal. It's not as big as like the other one,
like Cannes or something, or Sundance.
So there is a big one here, and I can't think of what it's called. Breckenridge, I think, has a film fest.
Makes sense.
But it's one of those that people actually pay some attention to. It doesn't matter. But no, that's interesting. I think that would be, if I could find a trailer for it or something. I think that might pique. It might pique my interest a little.
And it has the little names over their heads, and they're walking through these different places through GTA. It's
going to the Up and Atom,
surreal.
Getting them a burger.
Yeah, it's just real. It's surreal. It is like a dream. Because it's just like, oh yeah, sure, this is definitely a thing.
That's awesome.
It is.
I'm here
I want
for
more
it.
Stuff like this because it's so creative.
Exactly.
So freaking creative. Yeah.
I was watching different shit on YouTube last night, and I came across. Now I can't think of the band, but they did a bunch of quarantine songs, and filmed them and whatnot. And I was like, oh, that's awesome that those kind of things exist. That people got creative during pandemic. I've forgotten about how creative people had gotten. Ourselves included, really, because pandemic happened and I bought all this fucking gear.
kind of. Well, yeah.
I mean, we were already doing this and had been doing this for fucking almost a whole decade. But I'm just saying, like, when the pandemic happened and the government was like, here, have some money, even though you're already working, they're continuing to work. I was like, well, cool. That's an excuse to fucking spend money. And so I bought all the extra gear. So we could be more creative.
It's irresistible, you know?
Don't put fucking a lot of money into a poor kid's hand. That's all I'm saying.
Especially when they want stuff.
Oh, you are kind of privy to some of my YouTube lists, my Amazon lists. You know my wants are fucking pretty vast and wide.
Not to break kayfabe, but I got you something on your list once, and I'm like, I thought it was one thing until it was delivered. I'm like, oh, it's another thing. Oops. Like, oh well. It was supposed to be a controller. I thought they were gonna get a controller. It's like, now it's a charger for a controller. I'm like, oh, well, damn. Oops.
It's nice though. It sits on the fucking nightstand. You know, you just drop the controller on it.
I'm like, that kind of sucks.
Nah.
I was hoping it'd be the whole thing. All right. Okay, good.
Still works.
Apparently,
it's great.
Swiss says it's Telluride.
Telluride. Yeah, I believe that is correct.
Man, so funny though.
That's awesome. I think it's awesome that it's going to be in a theater, but leave it up to California to put machinima.
Oh, okay. I have to correct you on that one. They're UKians. They're British folk.
Okay.
So the makers of this are UKers.
That's fine.
Not sadly. But you're saying Californians. I'm like, I wish they were Californians.
Well, it's based off a game that's based in a world in California. Yeah, so now Hamlet's going to be based in a world in California with gunshots in the background.
Romeo and Juliet was based. Yeah, your Romeo and Juliet reference was based in California.
Was it?
Stuff's all in California. Yeah.
I don't.
The beach and everything.
I really don't remember that movie because I did not like it at all. And yeah, I was dating a girl at the time that was infatuated with Leo DiCaprio, so we had to go see it. And Francis locks up. Oh, there he's back, at least.
I'm here.
Okay, good.
Oh, never mind. Yeah.
What?
No, actually, it is. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Go on.
No, so yeah.
It is based in California.
Yeah. The GTA? Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm in.
That's why the Up and Adams look like In-N-Outs.
Yes. Yeah. Again, everyone's favorite place to go, whether you're in the Oscars or whatever. Where you go afterwards? In-N-Out.
You know, it's funny. I have 2 In-N-Outs near me, and I don't go anymore because I can't eat the fries.
Those are, well, yeah.
I mean, I like the animal.
The fries are the fries are the weakest part.
Not when there's the animal shit on top of them.
No, that's true. No, I can't argue that one. I can't argue that. That's true.
You know, Wendy's will try and do their loaded fries, but those, they're something about them shoestrings with all that shit on top of it. It's a good combination.
It is. Wendy's fries are okay, but you're right.
No, they're great.
Once you get the animal style fries, you got it covered.
Exactly. And you can't go to the In-N-Out and just get 2 fucking doubles.
You can.
I mean, you can.
You can.
It's not really advisable.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, they would be like, why don't you just get a fucking quad by quad then? I mean, because my mouth isn't that wide. That's why.
I think their limit is 100. I think the limit is 100 patties. And 100
that's a lot
of cheese. I think they won't go beyond that.
Well, I think 2 is plenty.
Yes. 2 is very much plenty. Yes, true.
But yeah, I need to go because It's been a while. It's been over a year since I last went. And like I said, I just got done destroying the fries. I took the paper off the burger. As I'm chewing my burger, I look down and the paper says to me, "We cook our fries on 100% sunflower." And I looked and I had 2 fries left. And I went, well, fuck it. Can't be any more allergic to them.
True. True.
Once you've eaten an entire thing, what's 2 more fries is not going to hurt you anymore. What a crap thing. Bald and allergic to sunflower. Actually, I was witness to an older gentleman falling down in a place this past week, and he was fine at the end of the day, and he took it with a big smile on his face. He just lost his balance. He just had an old moment, I guess, and just fell. And so as we're helping him back up, me and a friend of mine, he looks at me and he goes, "Do you ever tell your wife while you're bald?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm not married, but what should I tell my future wife?" He said, "The reason you're bald is because you've outgrown your hair follicles." And I was like, I've not heard that one before. I appreciate that. Are you sure you're okay, sir? My hair will be fine. How is your hip?
I outgrew my leg muscles. Son, I outgrew my leg muscles.
Yeah, I just happened to look over to see him just, all of a sudden, gravity just ceased working on this gentleman. It just, something just was like, no more gravity for him. It was very odd.
Well, good he's safe, and good that he was able to give you a little bit of future banter for your future wife.
Hey, look, man, if old people are good for anything, they're good for a good, old-timey thing you haven't heard of in a long time. No, I love older people. They're great.
They're a good font of wisdom.
It's I've always wanted an old person that always had a cigarette dangling from their mouth, whether it was lit or not, to give me like car advice.
Sure.
Or like some sort of mechanical advice. But the whole time they're talking, the cigarette's just bouncing in their lips. It never falls out.
Sure.
I don't know why that character is so specific.
Samuel L. Jackson did it perfectly in Jurassic Park. When he's fixing the computer, a little cigarette just hanging, dangling from his mouth as he talks.
That is true.
It's one of my favorite things to see from him, because it's just like, I'm waiting for it to fall out, never falls out. It's just like perfect. I love it.
He dies really good in Goodfellas.
There you go. He has some good deaths.
I've watched that movie, no shit, like 3 times in the past like 2 weeks. I don't know why. It's a great movie. It's a great movie, but because I get home, it happens to be on. There isn't anything else that's piquing my interest, so it's like, well, let's see what Ray Liotta's up to.
Tubi.
I do watch a lot of Tubi. I was watching it right before we started this. Actually, it was Pluto. Those are great. Those are 2 great services. You got to put up with, some short commercial breaks, but, between the 2 of them, you have a wide range of different shit to watch. Some the same shit,
TV show,
but wide range.
And uncensored, which is the best part.
That is true. That is true. Although, so one of the 3 times I watched The Goodfellas was this afternoon, and it was on a channel that censored it. So the movie, it censored the language, didn't censor any of the graphicness, but just the language. So basically, fuck was taken out. So Joe Pesci's, all of Joe Pesci's scenes were a lot less shorter because they took all the fucks out of it.
I'd love to hear whoever ADR'd Joe Pesci. If it wasn't him, I'd like You're an 80-yard bad boy.
Some gigantic dude, just the complete opposite of Joe Pesci, is the one that came in 80-yard for him.
God, with that squirrely voice.
Oh, God. Well, I mean, it's theoretically possible because whoever did Bruce Willis for the TV version of Die Hard 2 was closer sounding to the guy that 80-yard Pee Wee Herman in the fucking first movie.
Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon.
Mr. Falcon. Greatest 10 seconds in TV history. I don't really have anything else to say, Francis. Do you?
Yeah, we're over time. So.
We're over time, and I got to be at work at 6 a.m. So let's end this and meet back up next week. There's a holiday next Monday.
Okay.
For some. It is a holiday. It's MLK Day. I think I'm off Monday and Tuesday next week.
There you go.
I think. I hope. Either way, we'll be back next week. Francis, tell people where they can find you on the internet if they wanted to do so.
At AKA the other guy on all social media. I'll be debuting the new book soon. It's been printed. So
Oh, that's awesome.
go. I'll have two new books to show off. I wrote a short story in both. I get to show that off and twirl it around on
In like physical form? You'll have physical form of this?
Yep, I got it sent to me.
That's
I
awesome.
have a copy. Yeah.
That is awesome. I have it's one thing to have, friends in the comic book world, that writers and artists and whatnot, publishers even. But it's different to have a friend that has a book. He's part of a book, not a comic book. A real book with pages. No, I'm kidding. I love all my artistic friends and their endeavors. I'm just, trying to give Francis some props here.
Thank you very much, Josh. Appreciate it.
You can do the one-stop shop for Francis, but you can't do that for me. 303_ninja on the Twitters, 303ninja on the Instagram. You can email us at thepoipodcast@gmail.com. Call, voicemail, text 314-764-7631. Spells out POI Pod 1. There's some synergy. Some kind of, not really. YouTube, you're here. Well, in post, you're watching it here. So you know where to find us here. But Twitch, all the places, it's POI Podcast. Send me a message if you need to find the RSS. I have them all. But when you look them up, you just can't find it. It's weird. I don't pay any of these people to get my name shown when you actually type it in, apparently. The song's ending. We'll be back next week. That's it. Bye.